Welcome back. All right, so 3 games are done already. The one game that's on late, Columbus and Anaheim. Looking forward to reviewing that later, but we'll review these ones now, won't we? All right, so starting off with Buffalo and the Flyers. You know, for Buffalo, they really needed this game. They absolutely desperately needed this game. The issue that I have with this is it didn't really show until the third period. So, first period, we got Anderson versus Hart in this one. The Flyers had the lone shot on net 3 minutes in. Sabres pressed 4 minutes into the period. Then Power has a shot that's blocked. There's more pressure by Buffalo. Cousins has one that deflects wide. Hayes is denied on a 3-on-1 opportunity. We get a power play for the Sabres. Cousins has a slot shot that's saved. The rebound's held. And then a shot by Cousins is gloved aside, cleared out. That's killed off. Tippett then has a chance on a break. He is denied on that. Shots are 6-4 for the Sabres with 6.5 minutes left. We get a power play for the Flyers, and they score on it. It is Tippett at 15-10 from York and D'Angelo. It's a one-timer short side, and he's in for a big night tonight. So the Flyers press with 2.5 minutes, but they're up 1-0 after the first. Second period. Lawton has a rush chance. That's defended. The shots are 2-0 for the Flyers, 2.5 minutes in, so they get off to another good start. Greenway has a chance that's held, and then on a 2-on-1, Farabee jams one in. Forrester and Hayes with the assists at 3:53. For Forrester, that is his first National Hockey League point. Kudos to him for that. Sabres press for an answer. Lemieux tips one wide on a rush. Flyers in total control, and the Sabres are flat at this point in the game. Shots are 7-3 Philadelphia halfway through, and eventually they had another one. It's Tippett from Hayes and Provorov. That's at 13-14. There was actually a delayed reaction on that one. It went middle post and out. So it was, and it's not the only one on this board either that it's like, is that in? Yeah, I think that's in. All right, Flyers then press for another, and eventually they get one. Van Riemsdyk buries one in close. Lawton with the assist at 18-41. It's 4-0 Philadelphia. Sabres press to respond with 50 seconds left. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4, so that rolls over into the third. We get an early power play for the Sabres. Skinner to Cousins, near miss, and then Olofsson scores on that power play from Power and Middlestad at 2:27, which breaks up the shutout for Hart. Wires it on a good cycle, but then Philadelphia answers. It's Tippett. Fast break goal from D'Angelo and Sealer at 5:33, and that is his first National Hockey League hat trick. Kudos to Tippett for that. Shots are 4-2 for the Sabres with 8 minutes left. Sabres press with 6 minutes left. With 2:06 left, Sabres get a power play. Olofsson has a blast that's held. It becomes a brief 5-on-3. Back to the 5-on-4 with 0.4 seconds left on the clock. Olofsson gets the power play marker from Girgensons and Middlestad, and so your final score is 5-2 for Philadelphia. They go to 25-32-11 with the win. Buffalo, really costly loss here, 33-29-6. So the dream is fading for Buffalo. Shots on net, 8-6 Buffalo in the first, 12-9 Philadelphia in the second, 19-4 Buffalo in the third. Final shots, 36-22 for the Sabres. Power plays, Buffalo 2-4. Philadelphia 1-1. The hits, 27-23 for Philly. Anderson, 17 saves on 22 shots. Hart saved 34 out of 36. So very good night for Hart and for the Flyers. Although I'm sure there's some Flyer fans saying, what are you doing? We don't, it's tank. All right. Carolina and Toronto. So it's Kochetkov versus Samsonov. The St. Patrick's jerseys being worn. The one that I'm wearing, of course, is the green throwback that they did years and years ago. This is actually a Sundin jersey. But the Canes press at 2 minutes. However, on the second shot the Leafs get, they score. It's Aston Reese from Gustafsson and Yarncroke at 2:54. Yarncroke's been playing really well lately. Canes press at 4.5 minutes. The shots on net are 4-2 for Carolina, 5 minutes in. Leafs press at 7 minutes. Kerfoot to Riley. There's a near miss there. Achari has a screenshot that's saved. Martinook then has a rush chance that was held. And then the Leafs go up 2-0. It is Marner from Bunting and Tavares at 12:30, and he wires that one on a rush. So good goal for Marner. He's at 25 goals on the season. Leafs press with 6 minutes left, but Shea has one that kind of goes through Samsonov. He scores that one from Martinook and Pesci at 14:37. And then with 3:03 left, the Leafs get a power play, and they score on it. It is Matthews from Tavares at 17:38. That one deflects in off Tavares. Counts as his goal. So all of a sudden, it's 3-1 in favor of the Toronto Maple Leafs at home here. Achari was down. He collided with Puljujärvi on a play there, and yeah, it didn't look good. He did not return to the game. With 2.6 seconds left, there's a power play for the Canes. No, it shouldn't have been a power play. That was an interesting call. And from the referee's angle, I can kind of understand it, but I'm kind of surprised all four of them didn't get together, and at least one of the linesmen would probably have seen that shouldn't have been called goalie interference. But that rolls over into the second period, where not only did the Leafs finish the kill, but no shots are allowed on that. Shots on net are 2-0 for the Leafs at 3.5 minutes. Kerfoot has a net feed. That's picked off. This is where they announced that Achari wasn't returning tonight. Leafs press 8 minutes into the period. Aho has a shot that's held as the Canes press. And then at 10:45, Necas gets Carolina one. He scores from Teravainen and Kotkaniemi. The Canes would press with 6 minutes left. They have a little bit of momentum going for them here, but Aston Reese would get a second of the game from Lafferty at 14:58, and suddenly the Leafs have their 2-goal lead back. Drury's then denied as the Canes press. There was a press by the Canes again with 2 minutes left, but after the second period, scores 4-2 in favor of the Leafs. Third period, Nylander couldn't tip one in early. Martinook has a shot that's held. Matthews was denied. The Canes would rush the other way. We get a near miss for Kerfoot. Slavin misses one wide on a net drive. The shots are 7-4 for the Canes at 8.5 minutes. And Riley wires one top corner on a 2-on-1 at 8:56. Yarncroke and Brody with the assist. So Yarncroke with a couple of helpers, and Riley with a nice goal to make it 5-2. We had a power play for the Canes. That's killed off. They would get another. That was killed off as well, even though the referee was told that he sucked while that other power play was called, and it got started. So Toronto wins this one 5-2. Pretty convincing win here. They go to 41-18-9 overall. On the Carolina side, they are 44-15-8, and they keep slipping. So the shots in this one, 11 apiece in the first, 10-5 Carolina in the second, 12-8 Carolina in the third. Final shots 33-24 in favor of Carolina. Power plays 0 for 3 for the Canes, 1 for 1 for Toronto. Hits 26-20 for Toronto. Kochetkov saves 19 out of 24. Samsonov saves 31 out of 33. Fun game, unless you're a Canes fan. All right, and the last game I'm recapping for now is St. Louis and Washington. So much like Buffalo, Washington needs wins. They need some help if they're going to get in the playoffs, and they didn't help themselves tonight. So it's Hofer versus Kemper. Pretty strong game for Hofer tonight. Early jump for the Caps, but on a poor defensive coverage play, St. Louis gets the goal. To open things up, it's Blaine from Sod and Shen at 154. I did the video earlier today. I was talking about players doing better since the trade deadline with new teams. I really should have had Blaine on that board because it's night and day between the way he was playing with the Rangers and now the way he's playing with the Blues. Blues press at 4.5 minutes, but the shots are 7-4 Capitals, 6 minutes in. We get a power play for the Caps. The St. Louis Bally's now has the puck tail as well for the power plays. I've talked about it. It's just weird. Anyways, that was killed off. The Caps had some momentum. Kyrou then has a shot that's held. The Blues, 3-on-2, that's broken up. We get a power play for St. Louis. They cycle. The Caps clear it out. They do kill that off. And the Caps press to close things out. So it's 1-0 St. Louis after 1. Second period. Blaine has a net drive that's held. The shots are 3-1 St. Louis at 3.5 minutes. And at 4:51 on a breakaway, Kyrou scores from Vrana and Parayko. So there's Vrana on the board again. Blaine then has a rush that's defended. Falk fires one wide. The Caps clear it out. But Kapanen posting in on a rush chance. He scores that one from Buchnevich and Leddy at 9:25. It's suddenly 3-0 for the Blues. You would have no idea the Blues are a team that's 16 points below the playoff line coming into tonight's action. Near miss for Milano on a net drive. Pressed by the Blues with 5.5 minutes left. Eventually they score. It's Blaine from Krug and Sod at 14:38. Puck was in the net. So this is while I'm ready. It's a press, and they're ready to go to commercial on the St. Louis feed again. And suddenly they're like, no, come back. Apparently they scored. So the puck had gone in the net. They lost the puck. They lost sight of it completely. It was a goal. So Blaine gets the second of the game there. It's one of those bizarre ones where the puck goes in underneath the water bottle. So you can't see it. You have no idea. So 2:23 left. The Caps get a power play. That's killed off. So after 2 periods, it's 4-0 for St. Louis. Third period, Blues had the lone shot on net 3 minutes in, and things stay pretty quiet until Fevari scores from Alexiev and Milano at 5:47. Kapanen then has a rush chance to save. The shots are 4-2 for the Caps at 7 minutes. Vrana's denied on a fast break. Strome has a rush chance. That's held. A net feed to Blaine. That's blocked out. Blues press at the half. We get a power play, though, for the Capitals. Oshie has a shot that hits the mask on Hofer, or Ovi has a shot that hit the mask by Hofer. I put Oshie, but I know that's an Ovi shot because immediately the announcers are like, so Ovechkin, that's a dangerous one. So that power play ends up being killed off. 2 shots, but with 3:25 left, the Caps go back to the power play. It was a 6-on-4 to start, and it was a smart decision. They would score. Backstrom from Ovechkin and Sandin at 17-14. So there's Sandin on the board again. Good patience showed by Backstrom. He wires it. And then, still in the power play, by my count, there was 14 seconds left in it. Shen hits the empty net from the other end of the ice to put this one on ice at 18-21 and make your final score 5-2. So for St. Louis, they're 30-33-5 on the season. The Capitals 33-30-7 on the season with the 5-2 loss. And again, this is costly for Washington. Shots on net, 11-7 Washington in the first, 11-10 St. Louis in the second, 13-4 Washington in the third. The final shots, 34-22 for the Capitals. Power plays, 0-for-1 for St. Louis, 1-for-4 for Washington. Hits, 20-16 in favor of the Caps. Hofer saves 32 out of 34. Again, very strong game for the kid. And Kemper saved 17 out of 21 at the other end. So there you go. You're all caught up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.